For staying with us. Financial literacy is the education and understanding of various financial areas, including topics of managing personal finance, money, and investing. And our next guest is helping people with financial insecurities, and he's held several workshops helping to educate families in hope of revolutionizing the financial service industry. Joining us now to tell us a little bit more about the details about how to better manage your money is financial literacy coach Justin Umpierre, and we thank you for much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming and sharing, and it's good to have you.
Likewise.
Listen, as it's the New Year's around, right? And everybody's talking about New Year's resolutions, getting themselves together. A lot of people make these financial resolutions, and sometimes they go by the wayside real quick. But I'm glad to have you here so we can share a little bit about really financial literacy, because for a lot of people, it's an area where they're really deficient.
Yes. It's a huge concern. It's an epidemic that's going around. You know, people, they want to know about their finances. They just don't know where to start, right? I tell people this all the time. I believe that finance is the most important relationship that we have, you know, in our lives right now. And, you know, people, they would love to retire. You know, they want to have better relationships, but they just don't know where to start. And for myself, I was on a journey myself. I did construction for 10 years. And, you know, it just so happened that I just started to inquire, you know, from the guys that were there, hey, you know, what does your retirement look like? What do your investment portfolios look like? And when I really started to sit down with people who understood money, it was a scary thought for myself. So for my personal journey, you know, it was something that I had to take initiative with. And that's the first thing that I tell people, hey, take ownership that you want to know more about your personal finance. And for myself, you know, just affiliating myself with a financial firm, you know, and being able to attend classes where, you know, they teach financial basics. Right? I ask people all the time, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you know about your personal finance? And it's scary, the answers that you get. Most people will tell you 5, they'll tell you 3. And I'll simply ask them, hey, are you comfortable going into retirement or making all your financial decisions with that level of understanding? And the first answer that they tell you is no. Right? But these are things that people just don't plan and they just don't prepare for.
So when you talk about planning and preparing, that's what you do.
Yes.
You help people get together.
Yes.
So walk somebody through. You mentioned one word, portfolio. For somebody who's watching right now, doesn't know anything about a financial portfolio, what does that consist of?
Just the diversifying yourself, just understanding the investments that you want to get yourself into. That way, you know, God forbid if anything was to happen, you know, you're spread thin. I wouldn't want to say spread thin, but you're in a situation where if one doesn't work out for you, you're secured somewhere else.
And so we talk about retirement. Everybody wants to be able to retire, go on vacation, take it easy. But that's not the case for a lot of people. And sometimes it's because of poor financial planning. How does somebody get prepared for the area of retirement?
Understanding the account that they have, how those things actually work. For myself, I had a 401k, and I didn't understand how the 401k worked, right? And then once I started educating myself, just understanding the penalties, the fees, and the taxes that go into it, the number that I had set for myself going into retirement, right, I thought I would be comfortable with just understanding how those things are going to take place. That number would never be there for myself. So going in there with the aspect of saying I want $500,000, $750,000, and then understanding that penalties, fees, and taxes are going to take out a large chunk of that, you know, I can't retire off of that. And then we start understanding why, you know, a lot of elderly people are continuing to work or they have to go back to work.
Right. And when we talk about that, a lot of people are really working beyond the years that they planned on working, right?
Correct.
And sometimes people don't have investments. So how important are investments, and what do they do for that financial portfolio?
So one of the things that we teach is that, you know, every dollar that you make, you want to treat that like a little military soldier or an employee and send that employee out to go work for you. So we teach people the concepts of, you know, how to make money work for yourself. So that's exactly what that is. You know, just being able to understand the accounts that you want to get yourself into and how to protect yourself while you're with these type of accounts.
And asset protection and protection as a whole is something that a lot of people are concerned about.
Yes.
How to protect their money, given the fact that, you know, we know the stock market is volatile.
Right.
And we also know that the state of the economy is also, you know, going back and forth.
Correct.
Talk about protection.
Right, so going back into certain accounts where, you know, even going into now with the whole political situation of Trump potentially being vetoed and things like that, these things affect certain investment accounts, right? The market now starts to play with the volatility. It goes up and it goes down, and people don't understand. Some people look at it just as a monetary value, but they don't pay attention to how much years they contribute into these things, right? So now it's not that you're just losing money, but you're wasting years. Right? So being able to protect those things, you want to make sure that you at least have a will or trust or an account that can guarantee you, you know, no loss.
And so for financial security, people need to have understanding.
Yes.
And they have to have training.
Yes.
And I know you guys do workshops as well.
Yes.
What is encompassed in the workshop? Who's available to come to these workshops?
The workshops are 100% free, right? Everybody and anybody could come to the workshops, right? To have access to the materials is a small fee of $100, right? And that's just so you can have the investment into yourself. Nothing in life is free. So we want people to make the investment into themselves to make sure that, hey, you can, when you graduate this course, you have a better understanding in your finances, right? And then from that point there, we're going to teach you what's known as a financial foundation. And we treat your financial house the same way you'll build any house, from the ground up, right? Proper protection, making sure, God forbid, if anything was to prematurely happen to you, your family's taken care of financially. Even though they're going to grieve, you know, emotionally, the finances are something that people don't have to worry about. I witnessed those things firsthand where that portion isn't taken care of, and there's fights being broke out, you know, at funeral homes because people don't have their portion.
Yeah.
Then tapping into debt management, right? Emergency funds, and then lastly, investments.
All righty. Well, Justin, thank you so much for sharing with us. I have a question here that's asked, is money controlling you or do you control money? I think we're going to end on that one right there.
Thank you.
All right, Justin, thanks a lot. Well, listen, let you know the Financial Foundation educational workshops are taking place every Tuesday at 7 p.m. until 8:30 and every Saturday from 10 to 12 at the Bronx Financial Center located at 3030 Middletown Road. Once again, that number, I should say the address, 3030 Middletown Road. Now, if you want more information about Justin and his financial literacy workshops, you can email him at jumpierre12@yahoo.com, and there you can get all the information that you need. Okay, taking a quick break. Be back, got more. But when we return, we're sitting down with an author discussing his new children's book about Colin Kaepernick. Don't want to miss this. Coming right back, right after this.